What up, everyone? I'm Jax Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. You seen the show, you know my name. Alright, let's do this. I'm reviewing something very special today from the heart. We're having another DVD review. I'll give you a hint what it is. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. And thou shalt not fuck with the Dudley Boyz. Yes, we broke the F-bomb. This isn't a children's show. So if you're watching this show and you're a child right now, I want you to slap the shit out of yourself and change it immediately. This ain't no children's show. This is for adults. And this is the Dudleys. Yes, we're in Dudleyville right now. Straight out of Dudleyville. Yeah. I've been wanting to let that off for a while. The Dudleys. Now this DVD, straight out of Dudleyville, great. I loved watching this. Now, check it out. Bubba and Devon. Open it up for you guys. Check out the spread. Very cool. Now the Dudley Boyz started out in ECW. They were a gimmick. Like there was a bunch of Dudleys. They were just like a kind of a clown group. Like there was a sign guy Dudley, and a big dick Dudley, and like all kinds of like different Dudleys. You would not believe, like Dances with Dudleys, who was supposed to be an Indian Dudley. Apparently, there was an old man, Father Dudley, and he would go from place to place, knocking up chick after chick, and all these guys are supposed to be half-brothers. And basically, this man spread his seed everywhere. And eventually, it came to later editions, actually, which is interesting. The later editions actually ended up making the group stronger. One was Bubba. And at first, Bubba isn't Bubba that we think of now, where, get the table! You know. Bubba was a stuttering, kind of like Good Time Hick, where he used to go, my name is Bubba Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley. You know, and Devon came in and he changed the whole game. They ended up feuding, they became a tag team, and they became one of the most hated tag teams ever. Oh man, the shit these guys used to do. Man, to piss off the fans. They had old school heat. And now, most of you out there don't understand what old school heat is. Let me explain this. Because back in the day when ECW was around, the internet was sort of starting. You see, everyone has these phones now where they sit there and they could Google things and find. That wasn't the case then. These guys were mostly based in Philadelphia. And when they were hated, they were hated. They didn't sell merchandise. People threw things at them. There was people from the audience that would fight with them. I mean, when I say they had old school hate, they were hated. In the greatest way possible in wrestling. These guys were villains, true villains. And then, of course, they went to WWE, and things began to change, but the Dudleys were just an awesome team. They had a very good feud with APA at this point. You see, they had problems with groups from ECW such as Public Enemy, which led APA to beat the hell out of them. It's worth watching. APA, Public Enemy. And you'll see one hell of a beatdown. That is a shoot. A shoot is something that happens that's real. They beat the crap out of those guys. Man, magnificent. Well, anyways, they brought the Dudleys in, and they found the Dudleys were a breath of fresh air. They were true professionals, and they had great feuds with a lot of great tag teams. Namely, the main one that they're really known for is the tables, ladders, and chairs. Tables, ladders, and chairs, oh my. Tables, ladders, and chairs, oh my. Tables, ladders, and chairs, oh my. Yes, they started that with Edge and Christian, and of course, the Hardy Boys. Of course, one of my favorite Hardys is, of course, Broken Matt Hardy, because he was just, delete. Yeah, I don't want to get started in that. And yes, they had the first big matches like that, you know, where it was no holds bar. Hardcore, at this point, was like, they had the hardcore title. It was mostly guys hitting with chairs, thumbtacks. These guys were just doing mad stunts, flying everywhere, smashing through 2, 3 tables. I mean, they brought and elevated the game to a whole new level. They made tables, letters, and chairs a staple in WWE. And oh man, it's interesting because Christian Edge, they had the chairs, Hardy's had the ladders, but they had the tables, and that was a staple in the Dudleys. Get the table. You know how many times they've dropped wood on someone? Boom, Devon will sit there. I remember when he got that old lady May, whoop, poof, threw her down, and he had the weird orgasmic look on his face. Oh my God, this is worth watching. Has a lot of good matches. Um, the story, the narration is really, really good. It picks up during their premiere, which I think they got screwed on because they were good for a while, and then they just kind of made them kind of like the guys to beat. Like Enzo and Cass got a win over them, and they just kept losing. I thought they should have had one more return, one more championship run like they did with the Hardys, but I don't know. They just kind of, I thought their last run was terrible, and they kind of did the boys dirty. My opinion. My one gripe about this is it does not have enough ECW footage. And that's one thing that I have talked about with these DVDs. They try to put more of the WWE slant on it. And it's cool, I understand why. But, you know, it's nice to have, it would be nice to have a few more matches in it. But it comes with a lot of wonderful stuff. I mean, like the ECW, take over the Royal Rumble, the Dudley Boy premiere. I mean, these guys had a career of just kicking ass. Like I said, a lot of it versus the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and there's a few here and there where they have solo matches. Matter of fact, during the draft, they tried to separate them, and it just didn't work. Back in the day, they had drafts, and they pulled them apart. And Bubba Ray was just kind of Bubba Ray with baseball jersey. And Devon became the Reverend Devon. Hey, he became a preacher. And Batista was sitting there with, had the poor box. And, oh man, a sight to behold. Yeah, because I guess Devon's stepdad was a reverend and he sort of liked the character. Wow. And of course, they had their TNA run, which I thought was cool. Aces and Eights. Looked that up. I thought it was cool. Some people didn't enjoy the storyline, but hey, wrestling, y'all. Wrestling. He was kind of involved with Hogan's daughter, Brooke Hogan. He was the leader for a while. Bubba lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of muscle, and he had a great run in TNA. I thought one of the best runs he had. They had a bunch of different feuds. Very cool, in my opinion. For what TNA was, it was a good story. And plus Taz was their announcer. I mean, it had an NWO feel without having an NWO feel because they were like a biker group. So it was different, but yet the same. But check this out. Boom. Check out the back. Like I said, a little early Dudley footage. The interviews are really nice, long. It gives you a behind the scenes feel when they come in, the backstage, how when they made their appearance and how they led up to it, and just very cool. They even talk about how they went from tie-dye to camo just because it was a whim of Vince McMahon to do that. And yeah, I recommend this. It has a lot of good tag teams, has a lot of good fighting in it, and one of the main things that I do enjoy is the general attitude about the music, the DVD, and it has that Dudley brand to it. So yes, I highly recommend watching this DVD. I highly recommend going out, buying it, and as always, this is the Comic Outlaw, coming straight out of Dudleyville, if you know what I mean. Hit your boy up, drop a like, a subscribe, and as always, your main man, Jax Slater. We'll catch you on the flip side. Laters, Dudleyville. Buy it. Subscribe. Like. Yeah. Laters.